But one of the funniest things that he did when he was outed was literally out another Israeli prime minister, a former Israeli prime minister. One of the funniest things he did was like, well, you know, I was connected to Jeffrey Epstein by, I forget who the other one was. But he literally was like, oh, yeah? You think I'm Epstein connected?
Welcome to the Daily Show. How about
I'm sorry, I can't listen to a former mob guy turned YouTuber talk about how you gotta be real tiny guy. You gotta be a real tiny guy. Teeny tiny.
Johnny got himself a new do. Huh? Very nice. My name is Jon Stewart. Man, have we put together a great show for you tonight. Economic commentator Kyla Scanlon will be here later. She's going to be talking about which labubu. I was told that's a real thing. A labubu. Apparently, it's like a Teletubby with fangs. Which one's the wisest investment? But first, let me be completely frank. We had a tremendous show planned for you. Well-designed, articulate, a tremendous deconstruction of the most interesting issues of the day. We prepared a whole piece on the new Trump tariffs, breaking down the different rates and their secondary impacts. A truly illuminating dive into the overlooked role of the commodities markets in trade deficit accounting.
Wait, is this just Elmo? Oh, God, I don't care about this, bro. Come on.
That was enlightening. I didn't expect
the Elmo
any
segment.
of that. Elmo shoots from the hip. You can't control him. I'll admit, the sucking thing threw me off, too. I thought that was weird. Now, the impetus for Elmo's rant seems to be the Department of Justice memo that has just been released that said the Epstein case was officially closed and that no new information would be forthcoming. And while Elmo is demanding that the files be released, Donald Trump's response is brought to you by the letters FU.
You still talking about Jeffrey Epstein? This guy's been talked about for years. Are people still talking about this guy, this creep? That is unbelievable.
Unbelievable? You guys ran on it. Remember this?
We need to release the Epstein list. That is an important thing.
This Epstein sex ring operation, I'm not letting.
Dude, Dan Bongino's head is so spectacular. I can't get over it, dude. Like, what, the hairline is so crazy. Like, I don't even know if you can call it a hairline. Like, I don't know what's going on here. Like, it is so far back, but it still looks like it's got a widow's peak almost. He's so beautiful.
Nico, ever.
Put on your big boy pants and let us know who they are.
Why would you have to change your pants to let us know who they are? And why wouldn't you be wearing pants while you're researching them? And that was before the Trump administration took power. And by the way, they were still hyping the Epstein files after they took power.
We have flight logs, we have information, names that will come out.
President Trump has given a very strong directive, and that's going to be followed.
So people can expect actual movement on this. It's not just empty promises.
Oh, Donald Trump doesn't make empty promises.
Yeah, right.
2 of his wives and 10,000 unpaid contractors disagree. But these are all people who...
What is this? It's actually crazy how much aura this ship loses for me when I look at that small-ass bridge in comparison to the rest of the body. The Super Hasan destroyer. Bro, why are Star Wars fans coming for me like this? That's crazy. My head is perfectly normal size, man. For my gigantic body, okay? Why do you say me for, bro?
Work for Trump that set the expectation. And I think because of that, surprisingly, MAGA world, for the first time in memory, isn't just slavishly acquiescing to Trump's reality distortion field.
Where did that whole case go? Where did all the files go? They just went nowhere? No one even believes that.
This stinks. This just reeks.
Something is horribly wrong here.
Pam Bondi needs to be fired.
Yes, Pam Bondi, the ringleader. She makes the decisions. The backlash wouldn't die. So Trump had to go back out into the backlash, perhaps even making it look like a suicide. So this weekend, you heard him, John. That's outrageous. So this weekend, Trump tried to reason with his base using their shared love language, long, rambling Truth Social posts.
In a social media post, the president asked his followers, "What's going on with my boys?" and in some cases, gals.
Let me stop you right there. Not to be all woke, but I believe they prefer the terms bros and hoes. But sorry, go on. You were explaining why it was time to move on from the Epstein case.
Why are we giving publicity to files written by Obama, crooked Hillary, Comey, Brennan, and the losers and criminals of the Biden administration who conned the world with the Russia hoax, 51 intelligence agents, the laptop from hell, and more?
What evidence do we have that Mossad is involved? I don't know. The fact that numerous Israeli prime ministers have frequented Jeffrey Epstein's home. Jeffrey Epstein also, after he got popped, literally flew to Israel for a brief small head. Got him. Okay. Chinese Richie Torres. Whoa. No need to drag the Jewish state into this. Chinese Richie Torres? What is that? Some of you guys are coming up with names that I don't think you should be coming up with. What the f is Chinese Richie Torres, man?
So, just to understand this, in a few months' time, we went from the Epstein files will expose the Democrats to the Epstein files were
Okay, that is fair. The idea that like a sex offender, a pedophile sex offender would fly to Israel is not that unique. I will give that to you. You got me on that one. That is actually not a very unique case. As a matter of fact, it is the #1 destination. This is true.
By the Democrats, and therefore can't be trusted, so let's move on. And then Trump brings up Hunter Biden's laptop as a reminder for all of us not to dwell on old conspiracy theories. What?
Harvey Weinstein hired Israeli intelligence firm Black Cube. Oh, this is another very famous one. In 2017, they buried the New York Times story that exposed them. The person who made this arrangement was Ehud Barak. Harvey Weinstein hired Black Cube to block New York Times article, jury hears. Israeli private detective firm employed by Mogul to try and foil publication of sexual misconduct allegations, New York court told. The disgraced Hollywood producer Harvey Weinstein wanted the most effective private intelligence firm that money could buy to any media stories about us and countless women. In 2016, he chose Israeli company Black Cube, founded in 2010 by former Israeli intelligence officers and former head of Mossad, Meir Dagan. The company would get a $300,000 bonus if major story about Weinstein did not appear in the New York Times. Former Israeli Prime Minister Ehud Barak admitted introducing Weinstein to the Israeli firm. Nonetheless, Weinstein failed in his mission, and he's now in a U.S. prison for a string of... This was the first time that many people had first heard about Black Cube, but it has long been a mainstay of the global market for private and corporate intelligence, leveraging itself in the same way as NSO by hiring the best in the spying business. Some of its more infamous work has included gathering intel on senior Obama administration officials Ben Rhodes and Colin Kahl, both key backers of the Iran nuclear deal. That's right. The clients behind this job were reportedly aides to Donald Trump, though Black Cube denied it. This is the famous photo of Ehud Barak. Yeah, Apadjan, Ben Rhodes. That's true. Ben Rhodes was regularly railed against as a anti-Semite, one of the Padjans, for the crime of being a supporter of the Iran denuclearization agreement. This is a photo of Ehud Barak outside of the Epstein mansion in like 2016. Dev sent a corporate lawyer at a prestigious New York law firm, Boyce Schiller Flexner, told the court that his company had acted as a go-between connecting the beleaguered movie producer to Black Cube. The private detective firm has staff largely consisting of alumni of the Israeli intelligence agency Mossad. Under questioning by Manhattan prosecutors, Zen said that on 11th of July, 2017, 3 months before the New York Times came out with his bombshell article revealing that Weinstein had paid off multiple women over decades to bury their sexual harassment complaints, Boyce Schiller signed a contract with Black Cube. The deal was sealed under the instructions of Weinstein. Reacting to the release of the documents, managing partner of Boyce Schiller, Flexner, counsel for Joffrey, said the public deserves, Joffrey said the public deserves to know more about what happened with Epstein. Yeah, they spied on Theranos whistleblowers as well. How do we know it's Ehud behind that cam? Come on, dude. How do we know this is Ehud Barak? Because that's the worst disguise of all time. And also, there are photos of him taking the scarf off. You can basically see his whole head, dude. He doesn't even have a hat on. Him being COVID conscious should not be chastised. This is before COVID, but that's a good joke. How do we know this is Eric Andre? Also, there have been numerous articles written from Times of Israel all the way to Haaretz and American newspapers talking about Ehud Barak's relationship. One of the funniest things that Ehud Barak did when he was outed. Yeah, here it is. Here's where he's wearing the hat. But one of the funniest things that he did when he was outed was literally out another Israeli prime minister, a former Israeli prime minister. One of the funniest things he did was like, well, you know, I was connected to Jeffrey Epstein by, I forget who the other one was. But he literally was like, oh yeah? You think I'm Epstein connected? Well, so is this guy. And it was like, what? Semaphore is reporting that he stood his ground. What is this? Tough meeting for Mamdani with the partnership for New York CEOs today. I'm told stood his ground on intifada language and wouldn't commit to keeping New York Police Department commissioner on the job. Also did not recognize their father, Jim Tisch, when he rose for a question. What? What is this? I can't even get on the Times of Israel article. I don't know. It's not letting me get on the article, which is weird. What the? Anyway, where were we? Oh, we were watching Jon Stewart. Okay.
So, problem solved? Right, MAGA world? Well, let's test it scientifically.
How many of you are satisfied? You can clap. Satisfied with the results of the Epstein investigation? Clap. How many of you are not satisfied with the results of the investigation?
Let me hear everyone who thinks sex trafficking should still be prosecuted say, hell yeah! Who wants to know more about a cabal of elite sex criminals? Just the ladies! So MAGA world is now in open revolt. You want to know how bad it's getting out there? They're literally burning their MAGA army uniforms.
Extreme papist. Wait. Extreme papist getting mad that pedophiles won't be revealed? That's new. That's interesting. Okay.
Yeah. And you know there's just another guy standing next to him going, you know you got to flip him. That's your problem there.
Wait, was there Heil Hitler in the
background? The world is now in open revolt. You want to know how bad it's getting out there? They're literally...
Wait, where's the Heil Hitler in the background?
Burning their MAGA army uniforms.
In the original video? Oh, really? I mean, I wouldn't be shocked. This is probably a neo-Nazi account.
Yeah. And you know there's just another guy standing next to him going, you know you got to flip him. That's your problem there. You got to flip him.
Oh, he's playing the Kanye song. God damn it. Why did you say it? Now it's stuck in my head again. God. I hate this song, dude. Immediately when you said Kanye West, the Heil Hitler song, what instantly comes to mind is dun 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 bum bum bum. It's just the worst case of earworms.
But clearly telling your base to just forget about Epstein isn't working. But if you know Trump, he can always just pivot to the classic Trump distraction. Throw something outlandish out there and watch the dogs chase the squirrel. I'm going to invade Greenland. I'm going to bomb Iran. He's going to try something big.
President Trump is reigniting his decades-long feud with comedian Rosie O'Donnell.
I think we're going to need a bigger boat. That's not going to be enough.
The president taking to his social media platform to write in part, quote, I'm giving serious consideration to taking away her citizenship. She's a threat to humanity and should remain in the wonderful country of Ireland if they want her.
Don't look at our inaction at prosecuting a sex trafficking ring to the rich and powerful. We must focus on the real issue. The denaturalization of the co-star of Riding the Bus with My Sister. Yeah. MAGA is losing their shit right now. They cannot believe what they're seeing. Trump is lying, dismissing reasonable concerns as bad faith whining, attacking anyone who disagrees. Well, as a resident of Blue America, can I just say right now to my red colleagues that my pronouns are, how does and my ass taste?
You think enough pressure could hypothetically mount to the point of the file releasing? No. I think we have a higher, like the full, like everything, outing every single person that has been affiliated with Jeffrey Epstein. You have a higher likelihood of forcing the American government to stop the Israeli genocide than you do of getting all of the information. There ain't no fucking way. Because when these guys say like, oh, well, the cost is too high, like they're not wrong. The government volunteering this information in its entirety is impossible. I think all of the information that they will drip feed or release will probably be completely fucking either like shit that we already know or will be fake. Why would they do that? Why? Jeffrey Epstein worked really hard and for so many years to get all of that blackmail material, dude. Yeah, he worked so hard for that. The CIA and the Mossad worked so hard for that, bro. Why would they just like reveal it?
You like it? The Trump that you're just experiencing now, to your deep disappointment and dismay, is the dude we've been dealing with the whole f***ing time. You just didn't realize it because he's been nice to you. Like when you've had a terrible tragedy.
My administration's doing everything in its power to help Texas. We gave them all the money, all the help that they can possibly use. We've given them max. We've maxed out, and we'll continue to max out.
Whatever you need, Daddy's here. Because you're the child he wanted. But we're Eric. And this, truly just a weird cheap shot. This is how we get treated.
I don't think we should give California anything.
I mean, if I give California money, then every state that didn't vote for me will think I'm their president too. That's not a precedent I want to set. Whether it's natural disasters or tariff carve-outs or immigration enforcement or a million other issues, Trump's MAGA base always benefits from favorable treatment, except now. They're finally understanding what it's like to be the target of his hostility. This administration has weaponized vindictive...
Bro, I swear to God, Jon Stewart, watching Jon Stewart is like just watching a recap of the whatever issue that I've covered. Like this is literally down to this point that he's making is like
Viva! Viva la revolution!
What's that? What's going on? What?
With like, you know, shittier bits overall. Okay, well.